Let's give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Now, we did mention about breaking out of comfort zones, and today we pay tribute to the unwavering dedication of our distributors at GIT who have broken out of their comfort zones and have been the driving force behind our mission to promote Gano XL's Ganoderma immune system boosters. Even in the face of challenges, our distributors have continued to champion the cause of sustainable health for all, and this is something that all of us need to appreciate. We will now recognize and honor the exceptional efforts of our distributors who have wholeheartedly embraced the vision of Gano iTouch, empowering more families with health and wealth. And of course, to present the first batch of recognition, we would like to invite on stage Ms. Mai Flamenco and Ms. Mai Salazar. And to begin today's award ceremony, we first recognize the training supervisor, area coordinator, pharmacist, nutritionist, 3HT speaker, and medical consultant.
Training supervisor, Mariela S. Abbas. Area coordinator, Rodrigo C. Ontiveros. And now for our pharmacists. Erica Loren DGI. For our nutritionists. Abigail Francis D. Eliera. Our 3HT speaker, Livia Ella Cruz. And for our medical consultant,
Shoutout sa inyo lahat.
Dr. Celia Sigawen.
And once again, congratulations to our company speakers. Let's give them another warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. That is what breaking out of comfort zone looks like, and there is more to come, the more growth you want in your life. And on to our next segment, we would like to request Ms. Mai Flamenco to please stay on stage to introduce our guest speaker for today.
are two words that I would like to describe our honorable speaker this afternoon. And I will not forget one of those days listening to him as we prepare for our certification as a professional marketer, not just in the Philippines, but in Asia. And I admire this guy. We are fortunate today to have him here as one of our speakers, and most especially our key speaker for today. He is one of the most promising young business entrepreneur of all times in the Philippines, multi-awarded. Now being the acting president of Dito CME Philippines, and also the Chief Innovation Officer with Udana Corporation, and the Director of the Marketing Institute of the Philippines, being the founder, one of the founder of the blockchain movement in the Philippines. Let's welcome on stage, Dr. Donald Patrick Lim.
Yes!
Thank you, Mike. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the officers and to the warm bodies, to the people and the heroes behind the Gano iTouch. I know today is a big celebration for all of you, so I will not talk very long. Usually, I'm professor po kasi ako, so I can speak for 8 hours. Pero now, hindi naman. I won't go 8 hours. But having said that, no, as how Mike introduced me, I'm currently the acting president for Dito CME. If you're familiar with Dito Tel, we're the third telco. Right? And along with the entire Udana group, you may be familiar with Phoenix, Contis, Wendy's, and Durant Colleges, among many others. No? Laging number 3 kami, undisputed number 3. And as being a number 3 player, we have to act differently, more aggressive. We have to have that drive. We have to have a more aggressive passion towards achieving our goals and objectives. When I was asked to address you, sabi ko, I don't want to give my regular talk on digital marketing, on strategy, but sabi nga, more inspirational. So I decided to give you a more interesting discussion and presentation, and I termed it, what they didn't teach you in university. So having said that, because most of you here, I'm sure, are more into the direct selling space. So in essence, ang binibenta nyo po is not actually the brand, but most of the time, binibenta nyo sarili ninyo. You are selling yourself in front of people. And that's why, starting today, I want you all to remember, well, first of all, congratulations, because you are now President and CEO of yourself. Kahit na sabihin nyo na direct seller ka, or how do you properly term yourself, but in the end, you are president and CEO of yourself. And because of that, you are your chief marketer. And that's why I always ask people, how would you market yourself if you are a company? In many cases, sabi ko minsan, especially in the direct selling game, you can sell any product, but in the end, it's all about yourself. People buy you because of you. Right? And the product becomes very secondary, right? Of course, after they believe in you, your product should perform, or you lose that credibility. But in many cases, it's all about you. And because of that, because you are in this direct selling space, let me remind you that because you are marketing yourself, you are branded. From what you wear, no? Ako kasi, every day, naka-arrow jacket lang ako, naka-black polo shirt, black shoes, everything in black. Right? So, hindi nagbabago yan wherever I go. Kahit na Philippine Stock Exchange stockholders meeting na naka-formal lahat, ganyan pa rin suot ko. Right? To the point na ginaya ko ni Mark Zuckerberg, di ba? Pare-pare, araw-araw yan ang nisuot. So, to the Black Mazda, so I drive a Black Mazda, lahat ng team, an iPhone and everything else. So, I'm very much branded. And that's why I want to emphasize to all you, starting today, remember that you are a brand. And because you are a brand, no, di ba? Minsan pag sa mga, let's say, mga high school or college classmates nyo, nakalimutan nyo na yung pangalan. Di ba? Pero you brand each other. Oh, yan yung payat dati, ngayon mataba na. Di ba? Or yun yung tamad na lagi kumukopya sa akin. Di ba? May branding ka lagi. You associate people with certain descriptions. You associate people with certain adjectives. So when people ask me, what makes brands successful? I can give you a lot of key definitions on what or assumptions on what makes brands successful. But I will tell you already in my experience, right? And I want to make it very simple. For brands to be successful, you have to be distinct, right? Maraming definition na, pero sabi ko, it's all about distinctiveness, able to communicate that distinctiveness, and consistently providing that promise. And in the end, it would require substantial investments on time, financial resources, and hard work. So let's go through each one by one. Distinctiveness. If I get to interview you, kunyari HR, usually mga applicants sa akin, usually my first question that I ask them, right? In marketing, tinatawag nating elevator test. What is it that my product or service does that makes it different? Kung magkaharap tayo sa isang interview, yun lang yung tanong ko. What is it about you that makes you different from everyone else in my company? So hindi yung, kung magaling ka, magaling naman lahat eh. Kung may degree ka, may degree naman lahat. So it's all about that point of differentiation and point of distinctiveness. What is it about you that makes you different? Yun ang tinatawag na elevator test. In marketing, sinasabi natin, no, yung kung nagbebenta ka, di ba? Hindi ko alam yung kwento ng elevator test. It's all about waiting for the CEO to come out. Paglabas ng CEO, right? Paglabas ng CEO, from the top of the building all the way, mag-elevator siya pababa, dapat nabentahan mo na siya. Kaya tawag nila elevator test. In fact, even ako right now, even when I go to my office, when I leave, gano'n din ang my people sa akin. Minsan hahabol sa akin sa elevator. Kasi sabi ko, kwento mo, yes, no, gano'n lang ako, mabilisan. So you have to go straight to the point. You have to be able to deliver what you really want. And sometimes people remember you not because you are better, but because you are different. What makes you stand out? No? Yung tinatawag sa marketing is what is your UVP, unique value proposition. Right? Laging alaban na dyan is what makes you different. It is easy to see the blue button there, no, amidst all the black and white. But the reality is that it's a world of colors. Kaya mas mahirap, right, to be able to create your own level of distinctiveness. Later on, modesty aside, I will also share with you how I'm able to position myself. Kasi sa totoo lang, I'm just a marketing person. Nagbenta rin ako dati. First job ko, nagbenta ako ng Encyclopedia Britannica. Mahirap magbenta. Right? But that time kasi when I graduated from college, it was the pandemic, Asian financial crisis, 1997. So it was a really tough time. And kung anong kayang ibenta, binibenta eh. No? So nataanan din natin yung experience na yun. So first is distinctiveness. Second is being able to communicate that distinctiveness, right? So for all of you here, make yourself visible. No one becomes known just by lying around. Kung di ka lumalabas, if you are not going around, if you're not using social media channels, then no one will be able to know you. Hindi mo na-market sarili mo, right? So communication is key. Go out, expand your network, join seminars, become an active member in associations, play in leagues, attend forums, whatever. But you have to go out, right? Medyo nakadaya nga tayo dahil pandemic, di tayo lumalabas. But the reality is we have to go out and network. And ako, I usually, medyo laking divisory ako eh. So we work with handshakes. Even in corporate, ganun ako. Sabi ko, later na yung contract. If I shake your hand and I said yes, that's it already, right? We have a deal. So it is very important for you, right? When you go out, you always have to network properly, right? And I hope that sana you get to know one another. Kambi mo lahat yan, right? But when you go into other spaces, then you get to maximize your exposure. Okay, thank you. So for me, no, when I was way younger, I always made it a point na very active ako sa mga organizations, no. So in fact, sa sobrang active ko sa mga organizations, I set up and founded 3 organizations myself. IMAP, CICP, Creators and Influencers Council, and now the Blockchain Council. But before that, I was also Vice President of the Management Association, ICD, among others. That is why my network, I believe, no, is quite extensive. Kaya kahit saan mo ako ilaglag, I can find my way around. Right? In fact, sabi ko, kahit anong conference na may bayad, pag tumayo lang ako doon, kilala na ako ng staff. Right? Because I'm always giving talks and at the same time, no, sabi ko, yung mga event, yung production team, kilala ko na sila eh. No? So they're the first who approach me already because I've been in this space for a very long time. In my earlier days, no, especially when I was in my mid-20s, talagang attend ako ng conferences. I think I have attended more than 1,000 conferences already. Right? And talagang aral ako ng aral. If I would were to look back, yung notebook ko sobrang kapal na. Lahat ng mga learning bullet points at binabalik-balikan ko pa. So I don't attend a seminar or a conference na nag-attend lang. Minsan pumunta tayo para magkape lang eh. Pero sa totoo lang, hindi. No? I really try to pluck as much learning as I can. No? So again, distinctiveness, being able to communicate that distinctiveness, and then finally, to consistently provide the promise. So what does it mean? Be consistent. So people come to me, no, kasi medyo kahit paano nakilala nila ako. People come to me if they need professional marketing advice and presentations, food, retail, media, automatic yan, alam na nila yan. IT, digital, yan yung space ko lagi. No? So when people want to have a speaker on any of these topics, they would always ask me to come. Because I have several businesses also, people ask me how to start a business, how to do this. So I was able to expand, no, my knowledge with not only the corporate space, but also in the entrepreneurial space. Very weirdly, dahil singkit daw ako, akala nila magaling ako mag-horoscope, Chinese horoscope and Feng Shui, no? Hindi naman ako marunong eh. Pero sabi na hindi, ayaw mo nang kami turuan. So ngayon, I had a friend, 20 years ago.
Sis Leslie, shout out to you, Sis Leslie.
May bagong office siya. Sabi niya, tingnan mo nga anong problema sa office ko. Sabi ko, hindi ko na marunong. I don't know how to do it. Sabi, hindi, ayaw mo lang sabihin. So sabi ko, sige na nga, patingin ang office ko. And then, nung tinignan ko office ko, may table, may sofa. Ganun lang kasimple. May maliit na ref, so vice president siya. So sabi ko, sige, ito gawin mo. Ibalik mo yung sofa mo, saka yung table mo, para iba yung kaharap ng table. Ginanon ko lang, binuhol ako lang. Tapos after that, tapos na. After one month, bumalik siya sa akin. Anong ginawa mo? Sabi ko, bakit? Alam mo, one day after, the next day, we were able to close a big contract for our company. So sabi ko, actually, hindi ko talaga alam yun. Pero okay, dapat libre mo ako, di ba? So at the same time, hindi ko lang alam, sobrang ingay niya, kinakalit sa buong industry. So right now, ngayon, kung may nag-remodel, tinatawag na nila ako para mag-feng shui. Although di pa rin ako marunong, so wag yung pagawa sa akin, baka magkamali. No? Pero right now, even yung mga ano yung magandang day mag-launch ng product and all of that, no? Minsan people would ask me, they would text me out of nowhere. Sabi ko, actually, ginugoogle ko lang yun eh, auspicious date. Ganun lang, no? But again, because of branding, right, people associate me with that. And of course, how to grow tall. Now, if you met my dad, no, he's 5'7", my mom is 5'2". So parang, ba't ako naging 6'2"? So people really don't understand. So kinakwento ko, growth balls yan eh, binibili sa ongpin, yung itim, di ba? Yung kenchit mo, yung ongpin, growth balls. Tapos ilalaga mo yan sa native chicken. Right? Pero during puberty, so wala na kayong pag-asa. Pero yung mga puberty time, no, titake mo yun, you will grow immediately. No? Actually, when I was grade 5, I was 5 feet. When I was third year high school, yun na, nag 6 feet na ako. Kasi ano yun, dire-diretso yun, no? yung black na ball na yun, growth ball. Right? So then, people would associate me. So ngayon, ang dami kong order. People were asking me, oh, may growth, yung anak ko, gano'n na, 12 na, pwede na ba? Right? So again, I'm not selling it, I'm not in that business, but people associate me because of the stories I tell. Right? So again, consistency, meaning one look, one feel, one hairdo, one set of clothes. Since high school, ganun yung po hanggang ngayon, after 30 years, ganun pa rin. Hindi na nagbago yan. Right? So ganun ka consistent. Dati, sabi ko, no, my hair, ano yan, bunot ako eh, bunot, sobrang lambot. Pero, bagsak ako. So my grandmother said, alam mo kasi, ang power ng isang individual, ang swerte, sa noo. Kailangan kita yung noo. Right? So ngayon, kinatog niyo yung buhok. After that, biglang nag-honor ako. Di ko naman ano nangyari. So sabi ko, oh, sige, ganyan na forever. Binabalik, no? Kaya yung CEO natin, ang matas, no? Kaya powerful yan. Ay, powerful. Okay, one hairdo, one set of clothes, no? I'm never late, I always finish short, so people know me already, no? Like that, no? I'm always prepared in all my meetings, laging may slides ako. I never drink, never gimmick. Yeah, my people in the industry know. In fact, pag Christmas party, alam nila, welcome, may marks na ako, then alis na ako. Right? And then again, never answer me. So these are consistent things that I do, and I do it every time for the past 30 years that people associate me with that. Finally, it requires continuous substantial investment. So invest in yourself. So spend time and money, for education, seminar, associations, help. My first job, sweldo ko 12,000 lang eh. In the Philippine Marketing Association, my very first first org ko yun, 12,000 ang membership fee that time. So yung sweldo ko, yun din pambayad. Sabi ko, okay lang kahit kumakain ako sa Mega ko, 35 pesos lang eh. Para sa food court, para lang mabayad ko at kausap yung PME that time. Pwede ba installment yung membership fees? So that was how I was starting, no? Talagang I really invested a lot in organizations, in the network, because I know, ano yun, pikit mata yun. You know that once you planted those seeds, you will be able to reap the benefits of that. And again, do not spend time and money. So for booze, gimmicks, di ako talaga nakapag-inuman. So sabi ko nga sa, and again, my life is not for everyone. Right? You won't see me sitting down and having chit-chat with friends. Unless you have a good business idea and you want me to invest. But otherwise, sabi nila, you shoot the breeze, wala akong ganon. So I don't gimmick, I don't drink, and really something that has no long-term value, I do not spend time. Even up to now, mga gabi ko, I really spend time earning a lot of Coursera, yung mga diplomas. I'm trying to learn as much as I can. Okay? So plan ahead and in detail. What I always tell people, even to my students, especially pag-graduate na sila, pinakamaganda pag-graduate mo, start fresh ka, right? What you call 4 pillars of personal growth. There are 4 pillars that you have. One is your professional pillar. Second is your business or entrepreneurship pillar. Third is your organizational pillar. And fourth is education. As you grow, dapat nabubuo mo yan. Minsan sobrang focus tayo sa corporate, nakakalimutan tayo. Alam mo, pwede tayo magnegosyo eh. Pwede tayo magbenta ng kahit ano. At the same time, dapat organization, nagiging active tayo sa mga networks. And finally, yung fourth, dapat nag-aaral tayo, continuously nag-aaral tayo. So sabay-sabay nag-grow yun. Hindi mo pwede maiwan isa. Okay? And I will share with you something very personal. I created this Excel file in 1998. So matagal na. 1998 first file. Save as ko yan every year. Every December 31, ina-update ko siya. You will not be able to see in detail, but I just want you to have a gist of it. 1988, saan ako nag-una nagtrabaho, nag-Burger King ako. Every year na-promote ako. Then nag-start na ako with PMA and JCs. At the same time, nag-start na ako ng business. So every year, tinitingnan ko kung anong ginagawa ko, anong accomplishment ko every year. And because of that, minsan pag may isang year na medyo mahina, parang wala akong hahabol ako. Right? So what are the orgs I've been sinasalihan ko? Ano yung corporate job ko? Anong business na siniset up ko? Anong inaaral ko? Laging lahat puno yan every year. So it's a very disciplined approach, and it's a very, talagang very focused. Kailangan may ginagawa ko every year. And that is why if you fast forward after 15 years, 20 years, currently, may full-time job ako running a dito, CME. It's a listed company in the stock exchange. But at the same time, I've started 13 businesses. I've made 6 career moves, Nag-ABS ako dati, nag-Densu, nag-Pakan. Of course, now I'm in dito. I teach in 7 universities in and out. At the same time, I'm part of various trade and advocacy groups. So later I'll show you some of that. But for example, during the pandemic, you will see talagang tinatad ko talaga sarili ko with certificates. Aral ako ng aral. Walang ginagawa sa bahay hindi ako makalabas. Right? So talagang I had to study and I earned a lot of certificates. At the same time, I became, sabi ko, anong gagawin sa bahay? So sabi ko, let's help our country. So I became very active in the Philippine Air Force. So as you can see, during nag-lockdown, naging active ako. I activated my reservist status. So makita mo ako sa mga checkpoint dito sa Pasay dyan. Nakakalat ako dyan. That time I was with the Udena group already. So during that time, yung Wendy's and Conti's, we have a bakery. So every day we would bake. Di naman na-order di nagagamit kasi walang taong pupunta. So we would over-bake bread. Ako nagde-deliver. Dinedeliver ko sa mga sundalo, sa mga police, every day iniikot ko sila, and then you will see also we're very active, especially during the time na from pandemics to volcano eruptions to typhoons, very aggressive yung drive namin. And then later on, because of the pandemic, I became very active in Web3. So nagpa-certify ako. I took up a certification course on blockchain, among many others. Talagang aral lang, right? And sinasabi ko nga, sometimes, di ba, important pa rin naman yung alam mo ano nangyari, di ba? Right now, well, that time during pandemic, nanood kayo ng mga Netflix, mga K-pop shows, no? But okay lang, no? But sana you can spend time also learning as much as you can. To the point that I was able to set up the Blockchain Council and started the first Philippine blockchain week. So, and last year, no, gumawa kami ng longest ribbon cutting, no, when we started, no, and we said we want to drive the Philippine blockchain movement forward. So you know, as I share with you my story, people will always ask, ano ba yung tips, no, how to become a CEO, no? In fact, I was already a CEO at age 28, Yeti.com, may nagpilot sa akin eh, right? And sabi ko, wala ko alam dun eh. I did such a bad job, no? But at the same time, sabi ko, okay lang, for the experience, right? Whether you do it right or wrong, pero at least for the experience, you learn already. Marketing ang lineage ko eh. But at the same time, being a CEO means ikaw na rin ang in charge sa finance, HR, admin, risk, everything. Right? So you get a holistic view of the business. So when people ask me, you know, and students would ask me, what are some of the tips to become CEO? I'll share with you, if you don't mind, 10 tips. Very quick lang. First is always take jobs that put you in the front line. No goals, no glory. Always remember, sales and marketing, yan yung pinakamagandang trabaho. Mahirap siya. Right? Pakapalan ng mukha. Right? But at the same time, these are your frontline jobs. No, not to say that those in the backside, no, are not important. But those who are in the front line, you will see that even, for example, in the military, diba, those who are fighting in the front lines are the ones that are getting promoted. Maganda kasi pag nasa trenches ka eh, pag nandun ka sa harap, kasi na-experience mo talaga yung takbo ng negosyo. Okay? One. Second, be physically fit. Look good, feel good. Sabi ko nga, before, when you talk about, di ba, in any corporate job, you have to be physically fit. Important ang health. So to a point that before, when I was with the Inquirer, when I was with other companies, mga kasabayan ko, mga vice presidents, I was a vice president, they were all vice presidents, but they were 20 years older than me. So pag nag-execom kami, pag nag-management meeting sila, ako, very energetic ako, sila nagtitimpla ng gamot nila. Right? So, medyo siyempre, who will be promoted? Who will the president decide, no? Who they will promote? That's why also when I was younger, I was getting promoted year after year. No? Because nga, mas energetic. And at the same time, hindi ako talaga nag-sick leave. Makita mo, mali yun. Pero hindi ako nag-sick leave. Talagang, I've never taken a leave in my life. No? So it's really that rigor, no? And at the same time, I try to make sure I'm always fit. So even up to now, I still play a lot of basketball, and also with my military group, no, we do a lot of things together. Third, never be on time. I always believe in any meeting, especially in any business function, never be on time. Always be early. That's the rule that I was taught. Pag pumunta ka sa isa, like ako, when I'm about to give a talk, I will always be early talaga yan. Kasi if you feel ko yung crowd, people, they were asking me to go sa likod. Sabi ko, hindi. How can I address you if I don't get a feel and your vibe of all of you? I'm only meeting you for the first time. That's why I was just back there. I'm getting a feel of your energy also. Right? And also what to impart to all of you. In corporate, ganun din. Before, ang training ko, advertising agency. So when I go to a room, dapat ako mauna versus my client. Not because I'm the one presenting to them, but because important kung saan ako uupo. Right? At the same time, you will see, no, before when we were doing CBA, collective bargaining agreement with the union, hindi ko lang kung naabutan yung may mga ganun, no, mga CBA with the union, you always would want you nasa likod yung bintana. Right? Kasi pag lumabas yung araw, nakapagod yung sa the one looking at you. So may mga strategy kami lagi. No? But in the end, always be early, never be on time. Sabi ko, on time is late. Right? So if you're late, don't show your face. So always be early. And that's the discipline I also tell my people. Every Monday, kung manggong ko, alam nila 9:30 on the dot, nandun na ako. Right? In fact, 8:30 na sa office na ako. Yung 8:30 na sa office ko, after late na nga yun eh. Kasi my boss that time in the Inquirer, no, year 2003, sabi ko, SVP, Rene Reynoso. Sabi ko, bakit ka lagi nasa office ng 7 o'clock? Ikaw SVP. Ikaw yung second highest to the president. Sabi niya, simple lang. If I come late, then everyone becomes late. If I come early, all of you will come in early. Right? So sabi ko, that is the model. Never ako late pumapasok sa office. No, always 8:30 on the dot. I will always try to be there. Next, read. Get experience from others because your life, you cannot experience a lot of things. So if you have opportunities, always read, no, for kung ano yung sino yung mga idols ninyo, kung sino yung mga who you people you look up to, no. So ako all the way, no, from of course, no, from medyo Chinese ang lineage ko, so Sun Tzu all the way to Lee Kuan Yew, no, or mga biographies nila. I read a lot of their stories and I learn from them. I also read a lot of stories, whether Steve Jobs, Mark Zuckerberg, all of them, right? Elon Musk, their stories on how they're able to build their companies to become a big and great company, and ano yung leadership style nila, right? And you learn from their failures as well as learning from their success. Next, sleep 7 or 8 hours a day because you are not a robot. I always tell people also na even if my discipline is really very rigorous, ako 7 hours talaga tulog ko. So in a way, robot ako. Doon to 7, knockout ako talaga. Huwag mo na akong guluhin. Right? Pero pag gising ko ng 7, takbo na agad. Right? So I always tell my people also na you cannot, wag mo sabihin na magaling ka at you can work with 4 hours of sleep. That's impossible because the human body is not created to go for that. No? So make sure that you are well rested because once you are well rested, you can do more. Next, play Mobile Legends or Gear 4 Dota. Nagkalaro pa kayo nito? Code, no? It's where you really learn teamwork and strategy. If you're familiar with Mobile Legends or Dota, you realize, no, walang boss dyan. Minsan feeling ko, boss ako, naglaro ako ng Dota or naglaro ako ng Mobile Legends, sabihin ko CEO ako. Wala silang pakialam sa akin, ng mga players ko. Sabihin mo CEO ka ng kumpanya. Diba? Kung sino ka, you have to play your part. If you are familiar with Mobile Legends, meron kasi kanya-kanyang role eh. May tank, may assassin, may magician. Lahat kayo may role in every game. It's a team game. Or kunyari, basketball. Alam mo naman, may centro, may point guard, may forward.
Anniversary na
Diba? Hindi pwede kunyari maliit ka, ikaw yung point guard, mas gusto mo mag-rebound. Hindi mo ganun yung role mo. So it's always, you have to understand that you, in any organization, you work as a team. I remember when I was engaging in a manco because we were before in my agency days, we want to promote. We have a account director role, mas mataas na posisyon.
Salamat kayo sa iyong compliment ninyo.
Ang lumalaban for that role. Hindi kami makadecide equal, parehong magaling. Sinong i-promote namin? Right? Sino i-promote namin? Sabi ko, ito gawin natin. Mag-gumawa tayo ng Mobile Legends tournament. At inobserbahan lang namin paano siya maglaro. Paano silang dalawang maglaro. Yung isa, talagang very magaling, di ba? Sabi niya, siya nag-uutos. Pero gusto niya, siya ang maraming kills. Siya may pinakantintay. Yung isa naman, hindi humahabol ng kills. Important, manalo sa game.
Para
Kahit
matikman ko
na
rin
wala
ang
siyang
sarap.
pinatay. And in the end, we promoted that guy. Because what is important is that it's all about teamwork. It's all about how you strategize in the end so that you win the game.
So,
Kaya
sa
sabi ko,
coffee
important
nila,
too, sometimes you have to put people in the places where they are their natural
Kung sa
self.
laro ang
Pag
gaganda,
nandun na sila sa
gaganda yung
natural self
pakiramdam
na,
mo.
doon talaga lalabas.
Wala yung stress mo pag
Kung
lagi
you
ka
can.
pagod.
Sino totoong may leadership style, sino totoong may discipline and other quality values that you want. Stay hungry and be hungry. No? Talent and knowledge is nothing without hunger. Actually, I don't know if you know Dennis Uy, no? So Dennis Uy is my chairman. Siya yung nag-hire sa akin. I have a 2-hour interview with him. Pero in 15 minutes, after kami mag-usap, sabi niya, sige, join ka na sa amin. Sabi ko, ba't ang bilis? Ba't ang bilis? Sabi ko, actually, isa lang naman hinahanap ko eh. Dapat gutom ka.
Si Mr. Lim po.
So sabi nga, lahat ng mga tao sa company na to, gutom. Ibig sabihin, kaya walang pinipiling oras, minsan tawagan
Si
ka.
Mr. Lim, guest
Right?
speaker namin.
You
Si Mr.
have
Lim.
to be hungry for success.
Galing
Because talent, marami naman talented people eh. Right? Marami dyan matatalino. Pero hindi lahat gutom. Right? And that is why gutom, which means, no, alam ko
Stay
that
hungry.
if we need to go after, hindi naman everyday guguluhin kita eh. Pero if we need to go after an account, the last thing I want is you telling me, pagod na ako, pahinga muna. Right? So you have to understand the context, you have to understand the business environment. If you are hungry, you will go after it.
O, na,
Right?
sa
And if
Malaysia,
you want
28
your
years na eh.
organization
28
to
years
be
na. 28.
successful
Nung
and to
pumunta
be
kami
up
dyan,
there,
28
you
years
have
na.
to have a lot of hungry people.
Yung Global Convention, 28 year niya.
Next, increase your social capital. What I always say is that your net worth is your network. Labanan na network yan. Right? Especially in your space. If you do not go out, if ang binibentahan mo lagi yung mga friends mo lang, then may problema. Hindi mag-increase ang sales ninyo. Right? Your battlefield is to increase your network, to go and expand into new horizons. Kaya nga dati, diba, if you're playing Civilization, you plant flags. You plant flags, you plant new territories, new geographies, whatever. Pero kailangan dumami yung kakilala ninyo, dumadami yung pinupuntahan ninyo. Sales, simple lang, Divisoria style, turo ng mom ko. Ang pera, money will not fall into your lap. Hindi ka hanapin ng pera. Ikaw ang maghahanap. Ikaw ang lalabas, ikaw ang magbebenta. Right? Divisoria style yun. And that's why maybe that Divisoria thinking is something I brought also in my corporate line. Right? Sales will not come to you. Right? Sabihin na lang natin, swerte ka. Magaling ka magdasal, fine. Pero hindi darating yan. Ikaw ang maglabas, and the number of times you go out, the number of times, the extra call, the extra email. Even ako, when I sell my services, ako mismo lumalabas ako. I do a lot of presentations. And that is why, sabi ko, as if naman, kahit pa paano sa nasabi ko, magaling na ako mag-present. I don't close a lot of deals also. I know my batting average. Right? Because may kalaban ka, right? How do you position yourself? How do you market yourself? Next, how to be a CEO, honor your father and your mother. Because a tree, no matter how tall, lives because it is grounded. Okay? Always remember, I know our upbringing may not be the same. Right? Ako, I have a tough parents eh, kasi old school Chinese sila. But ako, even up to today, no, medyo matanda na ako yan. But every Sunday, I always spend time with my parents. No? Now, my mom na lang. But every Sunday, I always take her out. I always bring her to wherever. No? But it's all about the importance of that family and recognizing the value of that. Sabi ko nga, in the workplace, wala namang sumisermon sa akin eh. Right? Pero every Sunday, pag umuwi ako sa Binondo, yun, hindi lang ginagawa namin. Sinasermon na naman ako, bakit ako tumaba, ba't ako inuubo, ba't ako ganyan, every Sunday. But I always go to her because it grounds me. Right? And at the same time, sabihin niya, oh, ba't yung ginawa yan? Minsan nakita niya, may press release lang ako eh, na may contract signing ako with another group. So, ba't mo ginawa yan? Mali yan. Hindi naman siya marunong. Trip lang niya mag-sermon. No? So again, it's all about always making sure that you recognize and honor your roots. And finally, give back. Teach, train, and build. Always remember that whatever success that you have accomplished, it's always about giving back also. Right? And it's always how you help your community. When your community grows, you will grow also. You cannot grow so much without everyone else around you growing. Imposible yun. So kailangan bit-bit mo lahat. Bit-bit mo everyone in your surrounding. So maybe just a quick wins, right? Maybe for all of you, suggestion lang, not to say that you should do it. Set up the 4 pillars for yourself and build it, regardless of your age. Pwede pa yan, right? Get a coach, right? Or you coach one another, join an org, help the earth, take up a course, and in the end, live simply. Because ako, sabi ko, life is too short to do one thing at a time. So if you can do a lot of things together, contribute, do as much as you can, then you'll begin to realize, no? Kahit na marami kang ginawa, parang hindi ka napapagod. Oh, actually hindi eh. Kasi the more things you do, the more you realize mas maraming sumasama, tumutulong rin sa'yo. Right? And as you grow yourself and you grow the people in your network, you realize that you can do more things, no? And especially if you really believe in helping others. So let me end my presentation with one of my favorite quotes, no? And this is siguro my wish to all of you, right? As you, after this, no, after celebrating everything, and as you go back to the real world, I hope that all of you would carry yourself in such a way that when people are sitting, you would be standing. And when they are standing, you will stand out. And when they stand out, you will be outstanding. And when they dare to be outstanding, you will be their standard. Thank you.
Thank you very much once again, Mr. Gano Patrick Lid, to present the plaque of appreciation at Brave Hurrah. may we invite back on stage is Maya Flamenco.
Balik na ako din.
And once again, let's give a big hand to Mr. Donald Patrick Lee. Next up, we want to celebrate our sub-service leaders.
SF line ko.
Could all the sub-service leaders please stand up? We can show our appreciation with a round of applause.
Balik na ako din.
Once again, we would like to request all our sub-service leaders, please stand up to be recognized.
Another warm round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our top sub-service leaders. Let's give them a round of applause. Now, for those who stood up a while ago, we will recognize our awardee for top sub-service leader. And if the award may be called in again,